Don't throw away an old handsaw just because the blade is rusty and the teeth are worn down. Most people think once a saw starts getting stuck or cutting unevenly, it is already ruined. But today I'm going to show you a simple way to bring this old wood saw back to life. If this works, it could save you from buying a new saw for many years. Welcome back to Dan Fix. I'm Dan. First, look at how this saw cuts before any repair. The blade drags across the wood, but it does not bite cleanly. It slips, it jumps, and every stroke needs too much force. That tells us the problem is not only rust. The teeth are dull, and the set of the teeth may also be uneven. Before working on the blade, remove the handle. This gives us more room to clean sand and sharpen without fighting the handle. Keep the screws together so they do not disappear on the bench. I try wiping the blade with a paper towel first. But look at this. The rust has been sitting on the metal for too long, so a dry wipe does almost nothing. That means we need to soften the surface grime before sanding. Set the saw blade aside and prepare a small bowl. Add baking soda first. Then cut a lemon in half and squeeze the juice into the bowl. As soon as the lemon juice touches the baking soda, the reaction starts bubbling. Stir it into a thick paste. This paste is simple, but it helps. Lemon juice has mild acidity and baking soda gives the mix body so it can stay on the blade. It will not magically turn rusty steel into new metal, but it can loosen surface grime and help the sanding step work faster. Have you ever tried cleaning rust with lemon and baking soda before? Now spread the paste across the rusty blade. Cover the teeth carefully, but do not press your fingers into them. Even a dull saw can still cut skin. After the first side is covered, place a paper towel over the paste. The towel keeps the mixture wet and holds it against the metal longer. Do the same on the other side of the blade. Coat the surface, cover it with paper towel, and make sure the rusty areas stay damp. Then let it sit for about 2 hours. This waiting time gives the mixture a chance to loosen the old rust and dirt before we scrub. While the blade is soaking, we can make a small tool for setting the saw teeth. Clamp a steel nail in the vise. Put on safety glasses because cutting metal can throw sparks and small pieces. Use a cutting wheel to remove the sharp point of the nail. After the tip is flat, cut a small slot into that end. This little slot is important. It will fit over one sawtooth at a time, almost like a tiny wrench. That gives us better control when we bend each tooth slightly left or right. The goal is not to twist the tooth hard. The goal is a small, even bend. After the nail tool is ready, go back to the blade. Remove the paper towel and start sanding the surface. At first, the metal still looks dirty, but after a few passes, spray a little water over the blade. Now you can see the rust start to lift away. Keep sanding along the length of the blade. Work on the flat surface first, then move carefully near the teeth. Do not rush. The blade does not need to become a mirror. We only need to remove the rust that blocks the teeth, hides the cutting edge, and makes the saw feel rough in wood. Turn the blade over and clean the backside the same way. Once the rust is gone, wipe everything dry. Do not leave water sitting on the steel or rust can come back quickly. The blade already looks much better, but a clean blade is not the same as a sharp saw. The teeth still need work. For the next step, prepare 2 wooden strips about the same length as the saw blade. Place the blade between the 2 strips and clamp both ends with butterfly clamps. This holds the blade steady and leaves the teeth exposed. It also gives our hands more distance from the sharp edge. Now watch how the teeth are marked. We are going to mark them in an alternating pattern. That means we do not mark every tooth in a row. We skip 1 tooth each time. Start with the odd-numbered teeth, tooth number 1, number 3, number 5, number 7, and continue the same way down the blade. After that, turn the blade around and mark the other side with the even-numbered teeth, 2, 4, 6, 8, and continue until the end. This pattern matters because a hand saw does not cut with all teeth standing perfectly straight. The teeth need a slight set. Have you ever set saw teeth by hand before? Now the nail tool we made begins to work. Place 1 marked tooth into the slot at the end of the nail. Apply light pressure and bend the tooth slightly to one side. Only a small movement is needed. If you bend too far, the tooth can break or the saw can cut crooked. The purpose of this step is to create clearance. When the teeth bend, alternately left and right, they cut a path slightly wider than the thickness of the blade. That wider path helps the blade move through the wood without getting stuck. Be patient and bend 1 tooth at a time. Follow the marks so the pattern stays consistent. After finishing one side, move to the other side and bend the opposite teeth in the opposite direction. Keep the pressure gentle. If a saw has induction-hardened teeth, or if the teeth feel brittle, do not force them. Some modern saw teeth are too hard to reset with a simple hand tool. After both sides are set, look along the tooth line. The opening should look even, not wild or crooked. A good set is small, balanced, and consistent. Too little set makes the blade bind. Too much set makes the saw wander and leaves a rougher cut. Now clamp the blade in the vise for sharpening. Keep it tight so it does not vibrate. A loose blade makes the file chatter and gives an uneven edge. Use a file that fits the size of the saw teeth. Hold the file at about a 20 to 30 degree angle, following the shape of the teeth already on the blade. Push the file in one controlled direction. Do not saw the file back and forth. A file cuts on the push stroke, and steady strokes make the teeth more even. Sharpen one tooth at a time. Count your strokes if needed. Giving each tooth a similar number of passes helps the saw cut straighter. I keep the pressure firm but controlled. We want to refresh the cutting points, not remove too much metal. As the file moves across the tooth, the rusty dark edge changes to bright silver. That bright line shows fresh metal. It tells us the dull surface has been removed and the tooth is starting to bite again. When the sharpening is finished, inspect the tooth line again. The teeth now have a better opening, and the cutting points show clean silver metal. That is what we want before putting the saw back together. Now reinstall the handle. Tighten the screws firmly, but do not strip them. A loose handle can make even a sharp saw feel weak and unsafe. For protection spray, a thin layer of WD-40 on the blade. WD-40 helps push away moisture and gives the steel a temporary rust barrier. It does not sharpen the blade. It only helps protect the work we just did. Wipe off the extra so the blade does not stay oily and collect dust. Keep WD-40 away from flame and sparks. Now comes the final test. Place the saw on the wood and start the cut again. This time the teeth bite much better. The blade does not skate across the surface like it did before. The cut feels stronger, smoother, and more controlled. At the beginning, this old saw was rusty dull and sliding over the wood. After cleaning the blade, setting the teeth, sharpening each tooth, and protecting the metal, it is ready to work again. Tell me what country you're watching from. I'd love to learn how people in your part of the world sharpen old saws or restore hand tools. Not every saw can be saved, especially if the teeth are broken, hardened, or badly bent. But many old hand tools still have life left in them if you restore them carefully. If you found this useful, hit like, subscribe to Dan Fix, and tell me what old hand tool we should restore next.